So thanks, welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. So without wasting much time, we have Brian, who's going to engage us in youth in public participation. What does the Constitution say as far as the youth in public participation is concerned? Because we know the youths are a very resourceful population in this government, in this our country, as far as driving the economy is concerned, and also as far as innovation is concerned. So we want to use this platform of social media to engage our fellow youths and also to air our views. We are also here to collect the views of the youth. We are also here to collect the recommendation of the youths. We are also here to collect the questions that the youth might be having as far as this COVID-19 is concerned. So we also want to tell the youth that we are here to support the government's efforts in addressing COVID-19 issue. So maybe without wasting much time, Brian, welcome. Tell us more, what does the Constitution say as far as public participation is concerned?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Nekesa. Nekesa is a program coordinator at FODAG, Forum for Women, Environment, Democracy and Justice. And thank you again for the people who have enabled us to be here, including Takamari Initiative, Youth Initiative. Thank you very much, Takamari. And also Oraya has also enabled this forum to be here. Thank you for the technical team, and thank you for Able Youth Reader. And so kindly, because of time, I'll just go to probably maybe Article 186, whereby we are told, for example, public participation and the county assembly powers, privileges, and immunities, where it is telling us that the county assembly shall conduct its business in an open manner and hold its sittings and those of its committees in public. And B, the county assembly shall facilitate public participation and involvement in the legislative and other business of the county assembly and its committees. That is Article 186, which is talking about the public and the participation. And when you talk about the public, to me, it also brings on board the youths and everybody in the community. Going also to Article 118. 118, those who have a copy of the Constitution. 118 tells us that Parliament, public access and participation. Article 18, sub-article 1, Parliament shall clause A, conduct its business in an open manner, and its sittings and those of its committees shall be open to the public. And B, public participation and involvement in the legislative and other business of the Parliament and its committees. And 2, Parliament may not exclude the public or any media from any sitting unless exceptional circumstances. The relevant speaker has determined that there are justifiable reasons for the exclusion. And I think going by the 2 articles of the Constitution, that is at the National Assembly, the County Assembly, here now comes the big question about the youth and how probably maybe they participate. And I had said earlier on in the preamble of the Constitution, it also calls for that government, the government of essential value that requires its people. And again, also, people must have their responsibility and duties. And so what you're talking about is that we the youth, we may ask we the youth, what is our duty and what is our responsibility? Probably maybe you are out there and probably maybe complaining so much about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that has not been done by person ABCD. But again, also the question comes in, do we participate? And when you look at, for example, different types of participation, we have different types of participation. So we have the active participation, we have the passive participation, and we have the third one, the physical participation. When you look at, for example, the passive participation is where we have people seated waiting for things to happen. Those people, they're just there. And whatever happens, they're just there. And whoever does or whoever does not, they are there. Life continues. But you have the physical participation, where we have the issues to do with the revenue, the issues to do with the public finance processes. Those people who, like, for example, engage the government and the financial mechanism so they know how the budget cycle goes around the year. They know when there's allocation of development funds, what goes to the recurrent funds and such. So those are three different areas of participation, and the other one is the active part of participation. There are those people who are always there. They know they are there, like, for example, every day, every morning. They have bought a nation newspaper, or they are online. They are able, for example, to understand what has happened on a daily basis. So the point here is, the big question is about the youth and participation. Are the youth engaging the governance system, as expected by the Constitution? And especially in here, probably maybe since 2013, because that is when we passed this Constitution and we started implementing the Constitution and understanding from the same concept that we are the people that we are mandated to implement this Constitution. How many of us do attend those public awareness or even public participation meetings that are usually called by the county governments at different levels? So that question remains there, and probably maybe I can pause with that question as we continue.
So maybe, so Brian, maybe I would like to ask maybe a question, and I'd like to make this open to all of us. You've talked about Article 18, 118, sabbatical B, that says facilitate public participation and involvement in the legislative and other business of Parliament and its committees. Like right now, we know there's a committee, there's a COVID response committee at the national level. So we don't know how this committee is collecting views from the public to make it participatory, so that the public can have confidence and say, yes, our views are there. Because we just know there is a response committee, a COVID response committee at the national level. They're giving us, every day they're giving us briefs, but we don't really see the inclusivity of the public, of the citizenry in this committee. So we don't know how they're collecting our views. Yet we are asked to stay at home. We don't have gatherings where we can say, yes, our views were collected. Like youths, we don't know, when we see in that committee, the representation of the youth is, youths don't have confidence in this committee because the youth feel like they are not represented there. Yeah, it's like they don't have a say. So I'm trying to ask myself, or I'm trying to imagine, how do they collect these views? When and where do they collect these views? Yeah, so that we can say, yes, our views are represented even in that National Response Committee, COVID committee. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Nekesa. I think those are very pertinent issues and questions that we should be asking all of us, because I think all of us will belong to the same bracket. And as it has been said, these are very weird and dangerous moments that we are living in during this period of coronavirus. And I believe for sure, moving forward, we still believe that there's going to be life after coronavirus. But again, also, it is good also to raise those pertinent questions that participation and our involvement in governance processes. But I would say, like, if you look at, for example, the making of our government.
So if we really say that we depend on the memorandums of petitions to air our views, how many youths are going to have that opportunity to air their?
I think first maybe we should focus on the youth and get to know. We educate them on the civic education.
Yes, yes.
I think we should do this.
A lot of civic education. Yeah.
From the ground, from the so that we can get the youth get to know and understand what is expected. I think that's
I am totally agree with that, because there's also this issue of ignorance in our society. And I want to believe the ignorance at some point, I don't know how probably maybe as youth we can address that ignorance. I would like probably maybe to revisit the issue of ignorance, probably maybe from our parents. As guys, especially at our age, my parents were quite disconnected, and they never knew who is the MP, what is the work of the MP or the councillor. They were not MCs then, they were councillors then. And it was not their business even to know. And so we are telling, for example, to us, are the youth still going also to occupy the same space that our parents were also occupying in those days, that for them they also don't care. What is the work of the MC, the MP, the president, and such. And looking at, for example, and I usually tell people that the biggest achievement we've gotten in this country as of now for the last 52 years is the Constitution of Kenya. And in this constitution, the biggest achievement is the public participation. That is the biggest gift that is in this constitution, public participation. Because it is very entering the constitution and put in a manner that everybody is not requested, but demanded to participate. And that's why you've seen any bill that has gone to either Senate, the National Assembly, or any county assembly, any bill that does not meet the composite environment of public participation, that there is a member of the public that can question how did this bill meet the threshold of public participation. That bill is not at the floor of the House. There is no one single bill that has gone through. Why? So it means that we must participate. But now this question, Madam Lekesa, comes in. Yes, those ones that have gone through, they have gone through. Probably maybe you were never involved, neither were you involved. So the question is, why are you not involved? And why are you not involved? So the question comes back to ourselves. Why was I not involved? What happened that I was not involved? What are the mechanisms that are usually put on board to ensure that at least we do what? We get involved.
But how do we make the youth get involved? That's now the elephant in the room. How do we make the youth get involved?
That's a good question. Nancy has asked, how can we get the youth involved? Actually, what we're doing now, it is not us the challenges and giving solutions. Because right now, we know there are youth. Right now, we know there are youth back there in Zoom who are watching us. She has asked a good question. Yeah? Youth, what can we do? Huh? There's a question here that how can the youth support the government's efforts in addressing COVID-19?
Yes.
How? It is not, yeah, I'll listen, and after we seek a solution. That's what you say. And anybody would like at least to say something, to talk or to respond, kindly will raise up your hand, or we have somewhere in our message, you can just say out your views. So as we continue and go swiftly, kindly, youth, we need your views. Answer that question. Yeah? How can the youth support the government's effort in addressing COVID-19 and still be related with the Constitution? So kindly we need those responses right now as we go on and as we continue to say yes, ma'am.
Maybe also probably maybe I want to link this challenge also to the same challenge to pose to the youth. Like for example, even Lekesa had also asked the same question. One, if I may ask, from all those audiences listening to me right now, as according to the law, any public participation meeting is usually put on daily media, and it is a law that every county or the national government or the cities must advertise. There's going to be a public participation forum meeting exercise taking place where, when, within what time. But the question that I would also want to pose to the youth, do they, like, for example, take that bold step of getting interested into knowing what is the importance of that meeting? How shall we get involved with that meeting? And how can we take part with that meeting?
And I'll speak for the youth. I think as a youth, we do not have enough platforms for us to air our views or for our voice to be heard. So we need more platforms like this.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll come back again. I'll speak for the youth, and as a youth, I think we need more platforms that we can air our views or our voice, the voice of the youth, to be heard out there. So we need more platforms like this and many more platforms and awareness as well. Because for a youth to maybe to know what's going on in his county, he needs to also to know and to get the message as well. As you have said, the county government needs to advertise around his county so that the people or the youth, yeah. So I think we need more platforms like this so that we can be able, as youth, also to be given a chance to air our views and to for our voice to be heard.
And
Before, I just kind of say, youths don't have a platform to. I beg to differ because we have so many platforms that the youth can air their views.
Yes.
Even using social media, we've seen the youth, how radical they've come out, actually. Yeah, through Twitter, WhatsApp, FB, through arts like you, your spoken word, yeah. So I think the youths have enough platform. For me, personally, I think we have the right platform. So what I think the youth lack is a mentorship on the content they're supposed to air on those particular platforms. So I think we just lack the content and the confidence.
And to be taken seriously.
Yes.
Because the youth might speak, but they're not taken seriously.
Yes, yeah. It's just that.
we need to be clear. Even as much as we are talking about the youth, we need to know that even some of the youth are truly speaking.
Yeah, true.
Truly speaking.
True.
And if you are there, Malaysia is not all of you. Some people are lazy. So that's why we are here doing this discussion. We can't just be here, we say that, oh, these youths are good. There's still another bad side. That's true. And one thing, we can't always say that, oh, the government will need, as much as youths, we want the government to help us. Yeah? We need to partner with the government, not fight the government. Yeah? Because one thing, this thing, I went through with some of my friends, and it was interesting. Kind of allow me just to touch on that. It was public participation fund. But what really touched me was the government, how they were putting it. Kind of just allow me to go that we will keep you informed. None. To me, there are question mark. If it's information, where will we get this information? None. Like most of the things are also none. So it's information is in a corner.
But on social media.
Exactly. So in a pair, you get me 22 vizuri, kuna mali nifika ili bangu, unaona. So, kusikia vizuri, and as much as we are talking and speaking kindly, to my text, say your views and options, raise your hand, and actually I've seen somebody raise a jacket, and I've seen here Jonel unaangalia vizuri, kindly give us your views, when unaangalia Jonel, I've seen you, and still, we will keep you informed, listen to you, and acknowledge concerns and aspirations. You understand? Government no. Tuendelee tu vizuri, namaliza kidogo. We will work with you to ensure that your concerns and aspirations are directly reflected in the alternatives developed and provided feedback on how public input influence decisions. Second last, we will look to you for advice and innovations. More, because this thing no matter. As youth, we go to an idea, we go tell maybe the government the idea, the next time government will idea the so upon we will look to you for advice and innovation in formulating solutions and incorporate your advice and recommendations into decisions to the maximum extent possible. Alafu ya mwisho ile nzuri to the youth. Yeah? We will implement what we decide. That's why EMT group, public participation deputy. And these now are the panels. Yeah? We are going to talk about the constitution deputy. So ndio tukiendelea, kindly each and every, yeah? Raise your hands. Tunataka kusikia hizo opinion zenu,
Yeah, so
options zenu.
let anybody please.
Aya, John Henry, kindly, John Henry ameinua mkono.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, John Henry.
Good evening, John.
My name is John, and thank you guys for what you're doing. And at first I thought this is a women-only platform, but it's good that we are including all of us.
Yeah.
Now,
An organization.
yeah, thank you. So from the presentation the gentleman was giving is that what is the Constitution's allowance on youth involvement in government proceedings? And the example that we've used, I don't think if it's appropriate because of the COVID. COVID came in that it was some sort of an emergency. When we talk about public participation, it may take long. Now that you're talking about advertisement, you need to tell people that we'll be meeting 2 weeks in this forum, and you need to get you. So I think what the government did was to come up with a temporary a committee that will get things started, and then later, now the youth can start getting involved. You see, they did not cancel the Matatu trips immediately. But after involving the Matatu Association, that's when they had to come up with mitigation on how the young people employed in the Matatu industry can come up with ways in which they can get their livelihood. Now, on the issue of COVID, it is also an opportunity. Let us not, as youth, let's not wait for the government to give us. We have to fight for our space too. For example, it is a challenge. We have been presented with a problem. As a youth, with the knowledge I have, what can I do to help solve the solution? Look at what the universities are doing. No one told them to do it, but they thought about coming up with solution. Look at what the business community is doing. It is most of the young people and the women are the ones making the barakois. So I think we have just to identify where we can fit if the government is not giving us. But also remember, you have to fight for your space, even though the Constitution also gives us a right to. Okay? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, John Henry, for your very wise overview of what probably is happening, and also the space of the youths. Because again, related to the same, and also congratulating you for commenting on what the youths are doing at the university, the various innovativeness that have come even with the making of the masks and such. Then that one also definitely tells us that there is a lot the youth can do for this country. And I remember even related to the same, some years back, we used to have the youth assemblies in almost every county, in every sub-counties, we used to have youth assemblies. I don't know, in some areas, for example, Kajiado County, whether we have youth assemblies, and if they are there, I don't know what probably maybe they discuss. And maybe going to the same John Henry and the rest of the listeners out there, I would want to tell you this, that rights are never given. There is no anyone right that is ever given by anyone. Rights you have to go for. So the youths, wherever you are, get to know one thing. Those positions, those things that you want them to be done, they will never be done if you're not going to go and ask for them. And not only asking for them, but demanding for them. And imagine and get to know and to understand that the Constitution guides every process, even by demanding, because even protest is one of the civil mechanisms of demanding those rights and those services, and it is literally in the Constitution of Kenya. That's why you see during election, there are those protests where you are even given security by the police agencies. And
just before we move on, maybe you can repeat that because
As I was saying, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think as a youth, what he was trying to say is to have something like a union for the youth from the national level to the ground level. And this will help in so many things, actually to the county level. we will be able to know as youth how many youths maybe, and have a system in it. You know, the union, and have the union run by the youth. That way we will be able to know how many youths are maybe in Kajiado who are working, who are not working, who are jobless, who are doing this, you know, and how many youth are in whatever county that need white collar jobs, or maybe they are businessmen, small business. Let's have a system like that, and that union will be able to know to the grassroots level and to scrutinize, and it will be easy for them to monitor from above to below. I think that's it.
Maybe now, let's talk now as far as the union is concerned.
Okay.
Do you think it can be possible, given the circumstances under which we are in, of guidelines, regulations we have, of keeping social distance, and all that? Do you think it's realistic now to have these committees for grassroots to a national level?
Now it's not realistic, and it's a little bit. It will be challenging. It will be challenging because everyone now is on the COVID-19 crisis, and the workforce is also not really there. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so I think maybe the youth can also think of other alternative ways that we can come up with these committees per se of maybe gathering views, other than maybe calling it a committee, you know, physical committee like the national committee that we have.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe can we pose this challenge to the youth that maybe they can think of other alternative ways of coming up with ways of collecting our views. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We're moving on swiftly. So, you, the viewers in Zoom, I want to give you some questions and kindly respond again. If you can't raise up your voice to at least talk, what you need to do is just reply by SMS. So get them clearly. The main points here. How can the youth support the government's effort in addressing COVID-19? No, because one thing, it is us who are endangering the life of our elder people, our parents, our needy. Because you find that most of the people, not most of the people, most of the youths, unapata wanarun up and down, waenda job, wanafanya nini, alafu wanasema ask the young people, hata kama nzini makali ya hatuwezi, but not knowing you are endangering the life of maybe your parents, somebody and so on. So, you should get into direct contact with that person, maybe that person akona na no self, no, yours, no immune system. No. So, how can we help the government fight this thing? Because actually, we are on the forefront. We are on the forefront of doing that. And I don't want any of us here at least to respond. I want to hear your views, you people out there, kindly. And as a cannibal speaks, and I'll give you more points at least to changamkia nazo hapa kule, kindly at least air out your views.
Also, just before Cannibal speaks,
Yes.
there's also this another main point that the youth should not forget, that we also want them to air their challenges that they are facing, especially during this crisis.
Yes.
Yeah. No youths are facing some challenges.
Yes.
They feel like, tutambia nani?
Yeah.
Where is their voice? Yeah.
Well.
We have these challenges we are facing, but now that tunaambiwa tukae ndani, tutambia nani these our challenges. So maybe we can use this opportunity to invite the youth to bear the challenges they are going through, especially as far as this crisis is concerned.
Very true.
Yeah. Another person, Chinaka, can you tell us something? Because
Okay, hi guys. I'm Tina from Mombasa. Actually, I'm a youth, and I think katika hii how youth are participating into public participation and maybe engaging themselves into COVID-19 and how the mechanics they are using. I'm a youth who is working very hard in empowering the community and sensitizing a community concerning this COVID-19 thing. And as I see, or I can comment from Mombasa, there is a lot of youth that are coming out, are volunteering to come to ferry, let's say ferry, for example, since it's the place that I'm there for a time, most of the time. They come there, they volunteer in empowering the community, the measures and prevention, the steps that they can take, and even assist the elderly people who cannot move, who cannot take to measure the steps and carry their goods at Kenya Ferry. And some of them are volunteering to this food distribution or relief package that Mombasa County is giving out, and Red Cross, the Red Cross leading. There have been so many volunteers that are youths. In fact, talking on how can youth support the government in this COVID-19, I can say at this period, at least I have seen a lot of engagement and participation for the youth in this governmental thing and public participation. Second challenge, second question, that was the challenge that our youths are facing. The challenge that youths are facing is sometimes you can go to empower someone, you tell them what's being needed and they do not, yeah? But some people are not understanding. You see, you tell someone until you reach at the point that, maybe because I'm younger than him or her, that's why he is not listening to me. Second challenge is that we had this case that a landlord just removed mabati and mlango to his tenants just because they have failed to pay rent. And some of these tenants were youths. And you can see for this time of the pandemic, no one is working, people are volunteering. So you see, landlords or someone or these youths who are volunteering, they need to pay bill. They have bills to pay and many things to attend to. But you can see they are volunteering and they don't expect anything in return. This period, I think it had made a good, maybe some positive thing that at least you can see youths being involved and engaging themselves without anyone pushing them, because I think that's a good thing that at least youths, we are engaging ourselves and so on and so forth. Yes, that's my views. And let's.
Thank you. I can see Austin. Oh, Eroko Austin, kindly.
Maybe can I just add
Answer,
something
yeah.
before
Oh, Kidogo Austin.
you let Austin?
Kindly. Huh?
Yeah, before you let
Yeah,
Austin,
Austin
so that
Kidogo.
it doesn't.
Yeah, Kidogo Austin.
Yeah, she has talked about the challenges that the youth are facing, and it's true, these are the genuine challenges that the youth are facing.
Yep.
First is stereotypes.
Yeah.
Then number two, I think what she meant is that the youth are heavily affected or hit by this crisis economically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we understand that the youth account for more than 70% of our population.
Very true.
And from that, majority, or you can say 3/4 are in the informal sector, Juakali sector. So when this crisis came in, it came along with some guidelines and regulations, and all that. Many jobs were affected, and many youths were really heavily affected. So that is also another challenge that the youths are facing.
Yes.
They are economically affected. So I also just wanted to add another challenge of mental health. Because we see all these challenges, they are narrowed to mental health.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, because of the stereotypes, not being included in decision making, and then number three, now economically they're also affected. It affects their mental health. And now this has also given birth to something else, domestic violence. We've seen in the recent past or after the first case of COVID-19 came into the country, the cases of domestic violence have surged.
Risen, yeah.
Yeah, they are really risen. Why? Mental health. This is somebody who had a pattern. This is someone who has dependence, but they don't now have money. They are helpless and all that. So you see, we also have mental health is also one of another challenge that the youth are facing. Maybe
so I think now people are catching up. Wengine wananiambia moderator, watu wanataka kuongea. Yeah? Wengine wanasema ati people are being depressed. So we are going to go in this manner. First will be Austin, alafu second mwenye amecomplain ni Tracy Desare amesema amecomplain sana. Alafu the third person will be Nivia Debra in that corner. So Austin, you can Austin Eroko. Yeah, actually, some of them are raised. Austin, can you talk? In that manner, Austin.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon. Mine is very brief. I'm not quite experienced when it comes to the youth forums and everything. But what I can offer is a suggestion, a solution to the youth. This might be directed to the youths themselves. Who let's talk about campus students, people who are. Hello.
Kindly, Austin, mute that person behind you.
Pardon?
Mute that person behind you.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that the youth can get. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yes.
Kindly, people are complaining that there are so much echoes. So what I need you to do is just mute those people kindly.
I'm saying, or I mute them, yeah.
Kuna echo. Kuna Austin. Yeah. Austin.
Austin has muted himself, so I think it is the host. The host can control
the host
everyone.
is the problem.
So the host should mute everyone and allow Mr. Eroko to present.
Hey, wasisi tumepewa freedom ya kuongea sasa, freedom of speech.
Hello. 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 Can you guys hear me now? Okay. I cannot hear you, but let me just go ahead. Just show me a sign. I cannot. Okay, fine. So what I'm suggesting. I cannot hear you guys. I cannot hear the panel. I cannot hear the panel's voice. I go on. Do I go on? Okay. So what I'm suggesting is there are a lot of opportunities online for the youths. Yeah, I'm talking about the youths who can access the internet. Yeah, I'm not very conversant about the government intervention with the youths and all that. But as a person who's finding opportunities online, I can say that people can actually find opportunities online. The government should work towards enlightening the youths. There are a lot of opportunities online where people can actually raise money, not just locally, but globally. As I'm speaking, I'm in one, and I don't find myself having to get outside and interacting, hence contributing in the flattening of the curve. So this is something the government should definitely consider in sharing with the youths. That is just a solution. It cannot apply to everyone, but it can apply to those who have access to the internet, their phones. And it's a very cheap way for them to have access to to hustles and for them to actually make a lot of money. And yes, that's basically just my suggestion. You let me know what you think.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So I have challenges, some of the challenges that the youth are facing.
Yeah.
So as Nekesa pointed out, there's a lot of mental, how can I call it? People are facing a lot of mental challenges.
Mental health challenges.
Yeah, because you know, some people really can't stay alone, and unaona kama saizi venye tunaambiwa social distancing, unakaa peke yako, and pia sasa hakuna pesa where people can interact. People are over drinking, alcoholism inaenda juu, and because you know some people get to reveal yourself unakunywa pombe or you do drugs, such stuff to ease your stress. And also you're in the act of abusing drugs and alcoholism, you find that there's a lot of GBV going on pia kwa youth, because you know some of the youth, they are married when they're young, so hizi cases za GBV zimeongezeka and stuff. So from my side, we've also received a lot of cases about GBV amongst the youth, na pia hiyo alcohol na drug.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tracy. I saw somebody item 3. Alikuwa mimi mkono.
Meanwhile, can I respond to
Yeah.
Tracy's? Okay. No, I want to respond to Tracy on the challenges on mental health. Yeah. No, she's Tracy Gesare. Tracy Gesare. Yeah, yeah. So thanks, Tracy, for sharing in your challenges as a youth. So I want to believe you are a gender champion and a youth ambassador from where you come from the background and platform you come from. Yes. Maybe I would also like just to challenge you, being a gender ambassador or being a gender champion, what are some of the ways or innovative ways you've come up with to encourage youth, you know, to not to drink, not to indulge themselves in vices that will put them in the wrong side of the law as far as this crisis is concerned? Yes, we know it's a new situation, and mentally anything new affects somebody's mental health. So you, from your position or from the background, the platform you come from, what are some of the ways you've tried to come up with to encourage your fellow youth using this platform?
Since last week, but like 3 weeks ago, my team and I, we have a small group called Iskika. We've organized a fundraising for some of the vulnerable communities to feed some families. So through this fundraising, I think we can reach some of the youths, because we like to get to someone to fundraise, we encourage them to fundraise. Juu najua pia saa zingine people don't really fundraise hivyo tu, if you post something hawata fundraise tu hivyo. So as a way of kuwachangamsha, like we talk to them on importance of fundraising and how it can also help them, and we also ask them to volunteer with us. So we are opening up volunteer what is it called, spaces for guys to join us to help us fundraise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can also use your platform to empower women and girls on economic empowerment and also on their rights. And also maybe you can also use your same platform of Ice-Kika to sensitize girls, especially girls and women, because they are the predisposed population in as far as the gender violence is concerned. So you can use your platform of Ice-Kika to sensitize this population on their rights, on how they can keep safe, on how they can report, mechanisms and avenues of reporting any case they have of gender violence, yeah, the forms of gender violence and how they can also, and some forms of referral. You can also share with them the referral platforms, contacts of the referral points. They can also report violence cases, and above all, empowering them.
Yeah, Nekesa, the way you're saying about the women, you know, even if you look at most of the statistics,
yes,
guys, the male side are mostly affected with depression. Unapata wengi wao, they're the ones who commit suicide.
Yeah, mental health.
So, how, if you can suggest to me, how can we reach out to mostly the guys?
Maybe we can come up with some hotline numbers, free hotline numbers, and share them using the social media platforms. And then we can also have volunteers, as we have said, we can have volunteers who are counselors on these toll-free numbers, and they can offer counseling. Just to start with that, just as a start, we can have volunteers, and we can come up with toll-free numbers and share, where we encourage men who feel like they need to share, and we can have these counselors counseling them online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a nice suggestion.
Yeah.
Maybe rather the same. Okay, Kenyatta National Hospital, we also have a counseling center, and especially on this particular time, those domestic violence, those suicide scenarios for too many to zaidi. So Kenyatta National Hospital, we have a counseling center, and Nairobi Women Hospital, we also having a counseling center there. And around here in Kajiado North, we still, for example, going to use people like Bicodec and people like Miale Tumaini and Beacon of Hope, because if the situation is so much in need, then of course we must also look at, for example, water intervention mechanisms. But at the same line, I think I would also mention about the alcoholism. When you said about alcoholism as alcohol, because looking at the boy child as of now, and I don't know what has been happening around, but because it's going to be a huge topic, that one.
Yeah.
So, ladies and women, I think you also probably maybe have to call yourself to kind of a meeting, because the boy child has become a bit weaker in some ways, and we are unable, like, for example, to cope with the challenge of the girl child empowerment, and especially in the recent years. Because sometimes back we see, like, for example, when it comes to education achievements, so men used to achieve more in education, but nowadays when you go to academic institutions, girls are excelling maybe better even than boys, and when you go to job opportunities, girls are excelling maybe better than boys, and at that point, so you find that, for example, boys have been challenged, and that one was going mental. Is affecting their mental stability, and so at some point you must also probably maybe sit and try to interrogate and try to work out some mechanism of addressing the same. And I believe it will not probably maybe this forum. This is just a brainstorming issue that you have brought on board, but I believe in subsequent meetings, I think this is a very important matter. Maybe Nekesa as a program coordinator, she can probably maybe help to have another discussion this boy child stability, especially this time of COVID and especially this time of this global instability, and moving forward.
Okay, Tracy,
Yeah.
personally, I beg to differ with Brian that the boy child has become weaker.
Mm-hmm.
And he also needs to tell us which source of his statistics are coming from, that the boys, the girls have overtaken the boys in school, in workplaces. No, I beg to differ that the boy child has become weaker. It's only in March that we celebrated the International Women's Day, and the statistics say that we are still behind as a continent and as a country as far as gender parity is concerned. And the UN Women said that it will take 140 years for Africa to achieve gender parity. So we are still behind as far as empowerment of women and girls is concerned. So I think it's just that we have few men and boys that don't want to work hard, and they feel threatened when they see some women and girls working hard to fight for their space. So I beg to differ with Brian, totally 100% that the boy child has become weaker. Yeah.
Anyway, those few Nekesa, those men that you choose, for example, they are no, this is good to defend. I'm saying those few men that Nekesa is addressing, those who choose, for example, maybe to be lazy and such, and especially in the urban areas. I agree with you, what you're saying, like, for example, the global platform saying, but see, in the urban areas, the boy child has been kind of disenfranchised in so many ways.
He has chosen himself
to
get disenfranchised.
Yeah. That is the situation, and so let us not shy away from calling it as it is, and that's why the boy child, and especially those urban areas, has gone into drinking. And you can see, and we all can agree, that he has drunk himself up to death, up to the cemetery.
Brian, we live in a highly patriarchal society, and Kenya is one of them. That men, our culture dictates that it is men who controls women and girls. So in any patriarchal society, when you learn about human behavior, any woman who comes in front to threaten, like they are coming out or they are becoming empowered, it will make this man to feel like their space is being taken. Yeah. So I don't think if we've reached we as a society, I don't think we can conclusively say that the boy child has been disenfranchised or the boy child is a threat. I don't think we have reached that point as a society that we can say that. Yeah.
It's an agenda that can be discussed.
Yes.
I have another question. What is it that Kenya kufika unapataka kushika hizi nasikia fiti, and thanks for that. And still going on swiftly, these questions here, kindly, not all can talk. We have, before you talk, we have Clarence Kipchoge Ali and Tina Khan. Before our tech guy there, this question here, kindly, the question you have the challenges, solutions, and these questions, if you have answers to them, kindly one is, how can the government's efforts? How are their voices using technology and social media in a context of messages on wearing social media and more effective? And not forgetting sanitizing, very important, because one thing lakini sisi tumetoka, lakini the same anakuja ishike uso. So we never know. These are the solutions. At least one the voice of the youth behind. Number two, what are the key issues and challenges that the youth are facing during this crisis. That's how what are the issues and challenges that the advisors face? Where is their voices? Not where are your voices? Now, this is your voice. Air out your air out. And what are the different types of intervention? A chance to speak, and Tina Khan, kindly. Tina Khan?
Okay.
Yeah,
Asante
thank you.
sana. So leo ni sasa hivi nitarudi na Kiswahili. Okay, kuzungumzia kidogo kwa mambo ya gender based violence.
Yeah.
Vile kunaendelea actually for now kulingana na my observation and the view venye kunaendelea, wanaume sasa ndio wanakuwa affected sana na hii GBV, since unaona wanawake wanawaua, wanawake wanawachoma, and mwanamke siku zote huwa before afikirie kufanya kitu ama afikie uamuzi wa kufanya kitu, huwa hichi kitu kimemuumiza zaidi. Na unapata mwanamke kuanzia yuko mdogo huwa yuafundishwa na kuambiwa sana kuliko jinsia ya kiume. Kuna mama lana, usimchokoze, usimfanye nini, mheshimu, vitu kama hivyo. Akienda kuolewa pia unaona wengine wanapelekwa unyagoni, wengine lelewa na mapasta na mausta kwamba
kwa sababu unajua hii COVID-19 au wanategemewa sana sana na familia, wako na own businesses. Yes. So unapata mentally how you wanakuwa affected sana because imewahidi
usimfanyie hivi.
and then men don't see it ya maisha. Kutoka kazini labda apitie bar, wazungumze 2-3 na wenzake, ama wapange hizo biashara zao, whatever it is. Akifika ama akitoka hapo apitie labda tena kwa mpango wa kwani usafi, yaende kwake. So this pattern imekuwa imeharibika. Yeah, so unapata anakuwa affected mentally. So wanaume wengi sasa hivi unapata mentally ako affected sana. Sababu ile pattern yao imezuiwa. Mwanaume hawezi mzuia kwa nyumba kama vile at least a woman and children wanaweza tulia. But men you don't cage them. Yeah. Huwezi wa cage because hata kama hana kitu ya kufanya unaona anatoka tu nje kutembea kidogo. Afike pale mtaani.
Waswahili wanasema mtembea bure si sawa na mkaa bure.
Yes. So unapata hiyo ina affect mentally. Then issue ya social distance pia imemwaffect sana men. Yes,
na wanaume wengine hata wanapigwa huko na mabibi zao, lakini ni vile hawezi kusema kwa sababu ni mambo ya hivi. So pia
Now give an example. Yeah. Training, for example, to balance the 3,000 shillings a month. For example, so this money is expected to pay a rent, probably maybe of 8,000, and probably maybe pay electricity and water, take a girlfriend maybe out and pay the salon, and also buy himself maybe a shirt and also want to go and have 2 beers. So the 25,000 was not enough for this man. So he tried to balance his life with the 25,000. It wasn't possible. But going out to the girl or to the woman, imagine this money, the 25,000. The girl would go and pay 6,000 house rent, pay electricity and water, maybe 2,000, and by the end of that monthly budget, she'll only spend 15,000. That girl having gone to salon because she's only being dated by a man somewhere, and about 10,000 she'll keep it in an account. She'll save that 10,000 in an account. You are given the same salary. So this girl will maintain to be that job, and after 2-3 years, she could qualify for a loan from the same bank. And so she got a loan from the same bank. And she can probably maybe even now start even building a house and even purchasing a vehicle. Yet they were at the same level of that. So when you look at, for example, that kind of a scenario, enablement was not to us. So when you talk about this disenfranchising, it's about not considering so many factors that are disenfranchising this man, because we are not made from the same family. Very silly, for example, caging a man is, it's totally very impossible. And that's why I was saying, this is a huge discussion, but even as Tracy had said, this is a topic that probably maybe we will call for at another moment, so that we will probably maybe to see. Talk about the mental instability, disability, and the challenges mentally. That's why, leading the man to committing suicide and drinking himself, selling, and those kind of, sleeping in the trenches around and going naked around and, not bathing. All these issues, they are emanating.
Time is not on our side, but kindly allow me one more person. Amelia sana kwanza amesema huyu ni noma. Amesema GBV is still a very serious issue in Africa. Though girl child is getting more advice and guidance than the boy. Akasema I have points to make, burning issue. So kindly huyu anaitwa Clarence Kipto, at least yeye ndio tumpatie as we wind up. Clarence Kipto, yeah, be the last part. As we wind up, then at least we give you the way forward and what we are going to do, because we are not going to end here. It is just only the beginning, and all these points lazima tuzichambue tupate hizi challenges na solutions. So kindly tupatie your clients at least to wind up the team.
Nasikika. Hello?
Clarence. Yeah.
Yes. Can you?
Yes. Clarence. Hello. Clarence.
Nasikika.
Clarence.
Yes.
Oh, sawa. Continue.
Chenye nataka kusema ni saizi a lot of youth wana face hiyo, let's say, depression do, let's say many people hawajijui as youth, as in this is a time watu wanafaa kukaa chini and figure themselves out. Watu wako neo pressure ya kuenda nje let's say hiyo kuindulge in alcohol and other stuff do. As youth, many people wanaenda na hiyo influence ya crowd, they don't know themselves. So as the government, as the people mwenye mna lead, you should encourage people wakuwe na hiyo quiet time during this time. You sit down with their parents and as in wajijue tu what make, as in hiyo tu basic self knowledge, what makes them happy, what makes them sad, vitu kaa hizo.
Sawa sawa. Alafu tukimalizia nione hiyo pia na issue ya mwisho, the last person Nikki. Somebody call Nikki. Yeah, the last person Nikki.
Yes.
Yes.
Mnanisikia?
Yeah. Ongea.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about, as youths during this period, most of us or some of us had jobs or were running businesses, and it's been a bit difficult for us. Mnanisikia?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's been a bit difficult for us, maybe for personally me, I had a business and it's been hard for me to restock my products and all that. But during this time, I've come to learn that we can do other things. Like during this is a time where we can come up with new ideas for after this period. And also, someone talked about depression and emotional depression, all those things. I would suggest that people would take self-care and maybe do exercise, things. People who can paint and sell their paintings, people who can cook and sell to people. Like there are other things you can do to help this period shorter. Understand?
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. So guys, this is our parting shot. This is our parting shot. So we are just going to start from Brian, my colleague here, then our youth ambassador.
Okay, Kwan, just wait up. I'll just wait up with Article 55 of the youth. And you can read it wherever you are. If you have a constitution copy somewhere, which would be so bad if you don't have one. And kindly, those who don't have, kindly to come and see me. Oh, yeah, I can see someone raising their hand there. The state shall take measures, including affirmative action programs, to ensure that the youth A, access relevant education and training, B, have opportunities to associate, be represented, and they participate in the political, socio-economic, and other spheres of life, C, access employment, and D, are protected from harmful cultural practices and exploitation. That is very key and very important for those probably maybe may not have interacted with the constitution. Kindly, guys, I leave you with that duty of ensuring, cultivate and interrogate that article, and then see how you can be able to implement it. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
I just close by what Clarence
Kipto.
Yeah, the last speaker has said that, yeah, it's good if you can learn different skills of earning them money.
No, it's Nikki.
Oh, Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki.
Oh, okay, Nikki. Oh, yeah, she's Nikki. Yeah, it's good if the youth can learn different skills of earning them money. Yeah, skills like bakery, skills like knitting, weaving, skills like driving. Yeah, these are the skills that are handy now. Yeah, let's not just stick to our white collar skills that we learned at school, university, and technical colleges, but let's have this, embrace this culture of always wanting to learn a new skill that can help you earn something. Yeah, it's not just about what you learned now, it's what will make you earn money that will keep you going. Yeah, so that is my challenge to the youth.
And as we finish with you, can you tell us about the empowerment and job opportunities since you are the brand ambassador of Kenya, how maybe this was coming into it during this time of COVID-19, and maybe you talk on how we can bring these solutions as we wind up.
Okay, as a youth, I would love to challenge you. Kwanza, as a youth, what are you doing to change a life or to help someone out there as a youth? What are you doing to help someone, a fellow youth that is out there? And definitely, what is expected of you as a youth right now during this time of COVID-19? I think it's very, very important to be law-abiding citizens in our country first. So let's follow the instructions of the government to wash a mikono, to wear a mask, to keep distance, and to come with you. Because we are very active as youth. The economy of our country depends on us. So sisi tukikufa tukishika hii kitu, we are not guaranteed of tomorrow. So let's be very watchful. And then on another thing, your story, union. I think I'll speak after, because there is also life after COVID-19. I think as youth, we should have that union. Have that union. This union will have a system to
govern the youth in it. Tujue wayouth wangapi wako kazi, tujue wayouth wangapi wanataka employment, wayouth wangapi wako they are disabled, so that jobs opportunities zikitokea, they are dropped into these systems na zinafikia wale youth wale wamequalified. If you're an engineer, you just fill in your details there, we know you're a businessman, we know the system will now be able to know what kind of job is for whom. So after COVID-19, we think we should implement this union governed by the youth. I think also the national government is overseeing. Yeah, thank you very much.
And guys, thank you very much for being with us. The host was Forum for Women in Development, and I was your moderator, Juma from Takamari Initiative. And one thing I'd like to say is we have covered quite a lot, but not so much more. So what we do, we come with another segment in another meeting, and this to discuss this. So what I'd urge you is this thing, I think we'll bring them down and then send you this question so that the next time you be in this panel, at least you know you have the questions already, and now I think you have come up with the solutions to these challenges. Thank you for your time, and thank for the host, Madam Nancy Situma, Madam Nancy Sitima of Women Forum for Development. Thank you so much, and see you next time. See you once again. My youth, voice pamoja, youth nation, youth voice, youth power. This is our time. I'm out. God bless you. God bless Kenya. God bless Uganda. God bless us. God bless Canada. God bless. Thank you.